Hey, everybody. I am here today with my friend Todd Lewis from UPS. And Todd and I were introduced through this woman, Rosemary Turner, who is a rock star at UPS. And Todd and she work together on a new innovation strategy that UPS is doing that is amazing. When Todd and I were connected, I was about to go to Thailand. So as soon as we got on the phone, I said I was about to go to Thailand, and he had lived in Thailand, so we hit it off immediately. But what was even more cool was Todd's passion for what he's doing and what UPS is doing, and the passion for really understanding entrepreneurs, understanding what our needs are, and how UPS can service us. And one of the things he'd said too, I'm doing this to really be someone of impact, to make a huge difference in the entire entrepreneurial community. And we hope that you remember UPS because of it, but we truly and genuinely are doing this. And a lot of people might think, oh yeah, it's, corporate America terminology. But the truth is they really are. And since then I've had the privilege of having many conversations with Todd, high energy, high powered, just had a call with his team the other day that was like all of us were like high octane on coffee, talking about how to change the world. So welcome, Todd.
Hey, Jen. Thank you so much for having me. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm excited to to chat a little about what UPS is doing today, with in the startup scene.
Yeah, most people think, oh, well, UPS is a shipping company, and UPS originated as a shipping company, but UPS is so much more now. And I learned when UPS was a partner of ours for a Jumpstart store that we had recently in Philadelphia. And what I was just enamored with are the programs that you guys are doing and the fact that you're just getting started. I mean, just getting started. And so I can't wait to share with everybody the different programs that you are doing, but give everybody a little bit more backstory about you, Todd, just so that they can understand where your passion's coming from, about the passion on your team, which is totally legit too, so that they can have a better sense. Why do you do this?
Yeah. So once upon a time, I was a social worker. So my life before UPS, I was a social worker working with families and parents and predominantly military dads down in San Diego at Camp Pendleton. It was just such an amazing opportunity to be able to support families and to help them, grow and to watch their lives kind of unravel in front of you and watch them raise their children. Because it was just, again, an amazing experience for me to be able to give back to that community. And my wife, who is from the Bay Area, was a preschool teacher. So we live in California. We're like, well, I'm a social worker. You're a preschool teacher. So something's got to give. So that's when I left and went into business. But the beauty is that my passion for helping people and helping everyone around me kind of raise the tide, so to speak, has really kind of transited into working with small businesses. So when I came to UPS, I was working in Silicon Valley area, and I did a lot of work with startups in kind of a sales role, but more like a consultant, trying to help their businesses grow, trying to help them get ideas to stick. And that was an amazing opportunity. I learned so much. I had a great team to be with, but that led me to a marketing role where I actually focused more on growth type strategies with these companies, predominantly in the high tech space. So again, Silicon Valley, there's a ton of high tech out here. But the beauty is that not everybody comes in with 50 years of experience. So UPS has the opportunity, or had the opportunity, to really help those companies identify strategies that could help them grow both internationally and domestically. So I did that, and that led us to today, which I'm very proud to be a part of a startup team for UPS, where we have a regional team that's dedicated to support the startup ecosystem. Lou, are you hearing us? Okay.
Yeah, you said he's not hearing us. Is everyone else hearing us? Okay.
Someone
I see Sally gave us a shout out. Rich, Justin, hey guys. Everyone hearing it good?
We're good? All right. So here's the cool thing. This team is really for one purpose, and that's just the start. And it's really a simple mantra, right? A healthy startup ecosystem is a healthy UPS. And that's just so true. Businesses, lifeblood of UPS. And you know, it's say, what? Huge company, 400,000 employees, you name it. But you have to remember, you know, we were on two founders from Seattle, you know, started with $100 a life, and it's kind of insane to where we are today, but then also to take time for us to.
Yeah. So, Todd, can you do me a favor and just lean in closer to your, you're breaking up a little bit. So, thanks, Jay, for sharing. But what Todd was saying, which I think is so important, is UPS recognized when the ecosystem of entrepreneurs is doing well, which, by the way, every company should acknowledge this. But when entrepreneurs are doing well, UPS is doing well. And the more that they can help support that uplift and escalate and accelerate the growth of small business and the entrepreneurial community, the faster they were going to grow too, which is so opposite of that old mindset of, just we want to grow. We don't really care about everybody else beneath us. And we're a big company, so we only want other big companies. When the truth is, you don't know who the next Google is. You don't know who the next big brand name is going to be, or with e-commerce the way it is right now, somebody who's working in their basement and maybe making $10,000 a month could go to $10,000 a week, literally next week. And that $10,000 could become $100,000 the following week. And that's legit. I mean, those stories are happening all the time. If you look at Russell Brunson, who is the founder of ClickFunnels, he's making it happen for those people.
Right. Nobody knows who the next fidget spinners.
Yeah.
Then, I think that's why it's so important that all companies are treated, you know, in is our team is designed to shine. Providing that upfront support, scale, and that's again is trying to cast a wide net to make sure that all the companies that are out there, whether they should support.
Yeah, you guys have been amazing in supporting us with Jumpstart, and it's been genuine, it's been authentic. So can you do me a favor and just check your Wi-Fi real fast, just because it keeps breaking up a little bit still, just to make sure everyone hears this, because I'm about to ask you to tell everybody the different programs that UPS offers, and I don't want anyone else to miss this. And I know everybody's like, wait, make sure he's not breaking up, because we want to hear what it is that UPS is doing. All right, he left us and he's coming right back because he is going to probably check his, there you go.
Okay, so I hope this is better. I did downgrade. Yep. Does that work?
Did you switch platforms?
No, I downgraded from high def to standard.
Got it, see?
So probably better anyways.
All right, I didn't want you breaking out when you were telling everybody some of the things that UPS is doing. So one of the things that I found out before you guys worked with us at the first Jumpstart store is a program that can actually help small business owners scale faster around search engine optimization. So that could be that person in their home making 10 grand a week that once they get a search engine optimization strategy implemented could blow up to like $100,000 a week. And I say those numbers and people are like, wait, what? But those are legit abilities to scale these days. So tell us a little bit about the search engine optimization program that you guys have implemented and how people could potentially take advantage of that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of funny because, you know, if you take a step back and you look at our SEO strategies that we can help you with, it really comes down to one thing, and that is growth, right? So there's a lot of strategies that we are putting into play that are really at no cost to our business partners, because the faster you grow, ultimately, the more product you move, right? So it's really the symbiotic growth type relationship. But with many or all of these strategies, one thing I would highly recommend is, and I'm happy to connect everyone on, that's watching today, with your local support contact from UPS. But we have a lot of these digital techniques that we're rolling out for our startup companies. And I just want to stop here for a second. Am I clear, or am I breaking up? Great. All right. Wonderful.
Started in low to begin with. Yeah, it's great.
So UPS is now rolling out. Again, we have our own SEO strategy that we're rolling into play for our startups to take advantage of, or not just startups. I say startups, but what I really mean is small business partners that they can take advantage of. Again, the interaction with UPS is very. It's much like it's like a partner, right? And I know that word gets thrown around a lot, and it's kind of like, everybody kind of says partner these days. But we really do look at our relationships with our companies this way, in that we want to be more than just somebody that ships your boxes from point A to point B, right? I mean, we are, by all accounts, a technology company that just so happens to ship packages, which is a unique way to look at us, because again, you see brown boxes, you see our uniforms and our people, and that's kind of what you think when you walk by your UPS guy or driver, I should say. But again, from the SEO strategy side, it's really about driving connections and driving demand through your website, and kind of leveraging some of the other social avenues to drive demand and to get higher buy-in on your website. So we have a lot of major partners. I do want to do just a quick shout out, like ListTrack and NetElixir, just tremendous companies that have a very small, a very niche type offering that we've partnered with them to bring them to our companies and say, hey, look, if you do this, you're going to have more people click buy on your website, right? And that's what it's really all about, is getting more people to funnel to your site and to check out at your site, because you owning that relationship is vitally important to your growth, right?
Yeah. My girlfriend, who was on here a couple months ago, her name is Lisa. She created a company called Nice Pipes Apparel. And I said, if you could go, and she went on Shark Tank, and I said, if you could go back and do something differently, what would you have done prior to going on to prepare you for after? And she said, I wish we had invested more in our search engine optimization and conversion strategy, because we probably lost so many sales and not optimizing it the way that we could have. Or if people were just Googling leg warmers versus Nice Pipe leg warmers.
Right.
So looking back, she realized the value of that and how high it was and how much she lost in sales because of it. And so
right.
I think people are really starting to just grasp how important and how capable it is for small business owners to still thrive in this internet and social marketing strategies that the big guys aren't doing, right? So they have these big budgets. So they're just kind of giving it off. They're not telling their story authentically because they're giving it off to an agency to handle, where a small business owner can get really authentic and high conversion because of the authenticity.
Well, and that's so unique because it really ties right into that story selling method that we chatted about, right? So the idea behind, there's 1,000 leg warmers out there today, but listening to your friend's story and connecting with that product in a more intimate way is going to make me want those, right? So that is kind of the wave of the future of e-commerce. It's transcending from I need 1,000 options and I'm choosing the cheapest one, or choosing the one with even the best reviews. I'm now choosing the one that I believe in the most.
Yeah. Well, and it's also the fact that UPS has recognized that you guys actually are in the center of the uplift to success, right? So when you recognize that, everyone's in a win-win position. You're not just shipping packages. You're saying, if we can get someone's conversion up, they're shipping more packages, so we're all winning together, right? So why not create that investment strategy so that they can convert faster and at a higher level. Or even, the other day we were talking in this meeting and recognizing that when UPS is doing well, that small businesses could do well, and one little thing could be a game changer. So you kind of threw out there, what if UPS, picked a day to focus on different customers and just put those magnets all over their car? Like, what would that do for a company? But that's huge. Like, what would that do for a company? I mean, that's way more than most PR could ever make impact, because those UPS trucks are stopped at red lights. They're stopped on corners. They're delivering. I mean, that has such social impact in your marketing. And that's just one little thing that you kind of threw out, like, oh, by the way. What if?
Every once in a while, I will be honest, full disclosure, I am a dreamer, right? So they have to reel me in from time to time. But I believe that you're going to see UPS do more and more of this, which is basically really embrace our companies and try and, use ourselves as kind of a catapult to help them do bigger and better things. And you mentioned earlier, just, one of your friends was on Shark Tank. And, I kind of refer to those as like scale burst type moments. There's moments in your life or in your company's life that you are going to have explosive growth. And it could be as simple as, you're at this massive cheerleading competition and you're selling, these homemade kits for all the cheerleaders there, right? And it's funny because, you introduced me to, I want to say, Angel.
Angel.
So, when we look at moments like that, I really see a fit for UPS to help before those moments, right? Because it's after the fact that you've got a billion things going on, and you really do have to have a very tight execution plan, because really, at the end of the day, it's all about being customer centric, right? Customer centricity. Yeah. You want to deliver not just an item or a product, but you want to deliver a moment and a feeling. Yeah. And that is where it all kind of ties together. So, my advice to any company out there that's preparing for this scale burst moment, right, is that, reach out to us, because we're there to help. And we're not just there to say, oh, it doesn't just have to be, oh, we're going to ship our packages with UPS. Hey, that's great. We're a great company, blah, blah, blah. But the idea is, we want to see you guys be successful. We want all these companies to kind of raise the tide. So, if we can help in so many different ways, we will, whether that be connections, be connecting with, as an example, we have a lot of friends that have a lot of brick and mortar space. We too have a lot of brick and mortar space, right? And so again, you don't think of UPS being able to handle your inventory control, right? Or your fulfillment, if you will. And you'll see in the future that we are absolutely going to start looking at different ways to support the companies when it comes to brick and mortar space and fulfilling East Coast and West Coast. I mean, it's just really a tremendous opportunity for us to get back. But the idea is still the same. When you're preparing for those burst moments in life, that's when you need to reach out ahead of time to your partners and to your friends and to your family and say, hey, look, what do I need to get in place to make sure I'm prepared? We have a company that just went through Shark Tank and saw over 250% growth, right? And it peaks and then it kind of settles back out, but still it's that peak that you have to be prepared to embrace and to really nail it, because if you can hit that to the T, your customers will sing your praises and your growth will be tenfold beyond that moment. So,
it is so important, and I can attest to it because I lived through it, and I wasn't prepared. It was when my Butler Bag company had first launched, and we had gotten so much press, and simultaneously we were featured with Oprah and Best of 2006 and Accessories Magazine and all this other press on top of that. And we just blew up, but we didn't have enough product in inventory here in the United States. And our factory wasn't prepared to generate that much inventory as quickly. And because I had the compartment in the handbags, our shipping wasn't the easiest strategy either, which I'm going to go to another thing that you guys are doing in a minute. But we had to start air freighting our bags to get here in time to not destroy the customer service experience and get those bags in their hands fast enough where they didn't lose interest in us or flat out be annoyed. Now, this is 10 years ago. The expectation of shipping in the world has totally gotten a lot faster.
It's changed a little bit, yeah.
I just hit buy. Why isn't it here yet?
That's right.
So, that's a whole nother slew of expectations that have now grown into our society that really do create the customer experience. I just bought something from one of my friend's companies 2 weeks ago, and I still don't have it yet. And it was somewhat of an expensive purchase. And I'm sitting there thinking, wow, my cash flow is just tied up for 2 weeks now, and I don't have the product in my hand. And now, maybe a few years ago, I wouldn't have been affected by it, but in this instant gratification world, I'm a little bit more affected by it. So I wish, for that reason alone, that I had known you back then, that all of these programs existed. But even so, to add to that next layer of that, I mentioned our bags were compartmentalized. And so how we packaged them in a box was it took a lot of thought. And I now know, looking back, that we probably lost tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, in not packaging our product properly. And so you guys, as another service, actually have a lab that teaches people how to create the right packaging, from the actual packaging to how you ship it, like the packaging in which you place it in, to get the most bang for your buck. So can you talk about that for a second? Yeah,
of course. And this is one of those things where it's such a simple idea. It's like, we'll put it in a box and put a label on it, right? And it is a little bit more than that. And I know if you're a business owner and you've created a product, you understand that it is more complex than that. But we have a team in Seattle of engineers that what you can do and what we can do together is send one of your products over to our team and have them custom design packaging that is the most cost effective and also the most efficient when it comes to damages and so on and so forth. So, and integrity, I should say. So this team, and I want to give you an example. We had a guitar company that was, they were struggling with sending their guitars to their customers because what would happen is in the box, the guitar would shift and the top of the guitar would be broken. So it was like a 25% damage rate, and that's really rough on your customers when they get their product. They're super excited about it, and the guitar is a gift, right? So it's a broken gift that you're sending, regardless of what it is. So that moment, we worked with them and we got it over to the package test lab, and we custom designed a box specifically for their guitars that help alleviate all of those pressure points, but also did it in a way that eliminates some of the dimensional weight as well. So, and I'm going to go, and the dimensional weight's big. So for those of you that don't know, you're build really on kind of there's either two ways you build. You either build by weight or you build by your dimensions. So if you send a box of feathers that is, massive, it's going to cost you as if you had sent a box that was like 85 pounds. Now that's just, there's math behind it and algorithms in place, but the idea is you're charged really by the space or the weight, whatever is greater. So if you have a product that is very light and that is very large, we absolutely advocate that you reach out to us and get up to that package test lab, because we want to help you design the best possible packaging that helps you save money. Because 5 years from now, you'll be in Jen's shoes where you're like, I lost out on
I get
$6.
I think we lost on weight and dimension, and no matter how we looked at it, we lost because we just did not know. We didn't, and we were using UPS, but the program didn't exist then.
That's right.
And so if it did, we didn't know about it, but I don't think it even existed 10 years ago. So now everyone can take advantage of it. I have a girlfriend who has a cosmetics company that she's just about to launch, who met your UPS team at the Jumpstart store. And the way she was strategizing her packaging was all about looks. And they were like, this is going to cost you a fortune. You're going to lose so much profit margin. And a lot of people don't realize that. They think, oh, I just want it to look good. And the reality is, if it looks good, sometimes it's also going to eat away at all your profit margins. So now you have a charity for a business.
Right. And you can do both. I believe that you can do both. We can make your boxes sell themselves, right? And sell more product when you ship them, right? Yeah. But also do it in a way that doesn't necessarily destroy your margins on the back end, right? So it's all about making sure that we're doing what's right for you guys and making sure that we're, obviously protecting your packages the best we can, because again, you're shipping a feeling, not necessarily an item, right?
Totally. It's an emotion. So I'm curious, you had mentioned the guitar company, you created its own specialized packaging for. So somebody like Angel with the gorgeous Girl Box subscription box company, could she create her own appropriate size, weight, dimension, and branded with your package lab too? Could it be branded too, or no?
Well, I would say the branded side, and I do have to be careful here because we have many partners that we can point you in the right direction to say, hey, these are people that we trust, and if it's very important to note, if UPS is willing to put our shield behind anyone, you can trust them, right? Because we are very particular with who we partner with, because we want them to be trustworthy sources that are going to be there not just today, but be there for you, hopefully 100 years from now, like we are. So the idea is, we can absolutely help design the actual package itself, but then we can help point you to some partners or bring in partners to help you actually do some design work so that you can have branded packaging as well. Now, we do have branded labels, but the branded labels are a little bit different than the packaging itself. So.
Oh, I'm losing you again. You're perfect up until this moment.
Is it the hand
motion?
Okay, there we go.
Maybe because Kim had mentioned that when you lifted your arms up, when you got too emotional.
I do. It's a problem. It's a problem. I always speak with the hands. I'm a very articulate person, so.
I now envision when you and I are on our excited, passionate, how to change the world conversation. Your hands are just like mine are.
That's right.
I love it. So I want to be respectful of your time, and you've shared a lot with us so far. And I know that this is just the beginning. Where do you see UPS going in the next just even year? I know that in a year, a lot could even change and be added to this. So before I forget, I want to mention you guys have started to partner up with some different hack events, right? So you're going to be partnering in the entrepreneurial world a little bit more, and really in the trenches to hear what people want and need. But where could you really see this going in the next year so that entrepreneurs can pay attention and start to really tap into your world a lot more? And by the way, how do they tap into your world? Because if I just went to UPS and called the 800 number, I'm not tapping into your world.
No, you're not. You're tapping into the box. So you're not getting the Tods when you call 800.
I'm bringing everyone into the secret world right now of startup strategy at UPS.
That's right. Well, I have to tell you, and I get so excited about this, it's hard to contain. When you talk about the next year, there are so many exciting things that are going to take place and that you guys are going to see roll out from our organization, from new ways to connect with entrepreneurs. You have to remember, while we were a startup and whatnot, we are a corporation at this point, but we still need to learn from this community. And it really is about connecting. So you're going to see a lot of amazing things when it comes to how we connect with our startups and small business partners. You're going to see the way we support those companies change. You'll also see some new products that we're going to offer, new services, I should say, to help you grow. Again, much like those SEL type solutions. So you're going to see a lot of things. I wish I could get specific, but we're under NDA with a couple of those. But, I guess if I could leave with one parting thought, it would really be, we are here to connect with this community. And if you can't tell how passionate I am, the whole company is passionate about small business success. It is our future. And to be a part of it today is tremendous, but there's so much more we can do. There's ideas that are out there that we can take advantage of to help lift everyone up. So, I guess my thoughts are, connect, and please reach out. And, when you see UPS, again, I know you're going to think boxes, but we are more than that. And I want everyone to really engage with us because we're there to help. So
would people check out upsconnect.com to see some of these programs if they wanted to research more? Would that be the right place for them to go?
I think UPS Connect is a great place, a great place for them to go to get much of this information. Okay. But many of our engagements are so unique and so tailored to each experience that I really do encourage, if you have questions or if you have friends that have questions, connect with someone at UPS like myself, and we will point you in the right direction. So UPS Connect is an amazing resource, and it's a great starting point, and you can reach out to that team and they will point you in the right direction. But if you have questions and you're watching this video, I do encourage you reach out to me, and I'm happy to point you to whoever we can, because it is customized to every person, right?
Yeah, it is. And I think it's still, you guys are still in this stage where you really do want to hear everything people need to just spark some more innovation. And the more you hear of a need, the more you can fulfill that need. So it's really just on the beginning cusp. And UPS will be back with us again at the next Jumpstart store in New York in October, which we're really super excited about. But I look forward to continue to share with you what's up with what they're doing at UPS, and any more announcements, Todd, I want you back on so we can share it with everybody, like breaking news.
I love it.
And again, as Todd said, if you need something, you can contact him or his team, and they really, truly are so passionate. So thanks so much, Todd. I appreciate your time today and your information, your insight, and the best is yet to come. So much more ahead.
Well, thank you for having me, Jen. I appreciate it. And thanks everyone for tuning in.
Absolutely. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Cam, Jen, everyone that was doing shout outs, April. Really appreciate you guys here, and hopefully you learned a lot from it. See you all soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.